Hello everyone, this is Sam from HiPy. Today we're going to be talking about Pandas inbuilt visualization options. So sometimes when you're having some data, you want to kind of get some very quick analysis, kind of visual analysis going. You don't want to set up an entire matplotlib environment to work in. You just want to smash a graph out as fast as possible. So the best way to do this is with Pandas built-in visualizations because they work straight from Pandas. They're built off matplotlib, so we can use all the matplotlib functionality afterwards, but they're just a very quick and dirty way of getting the plots that we want as fast as possible. So to get these working, we will need matplotlib, so pyplot as plt. We will also need pandas as pd, obviously, and then we are going to type two commands which will make our lives a little bit easier. We have matplotlib inline, which in the notebook means it's so that we don't have to type plt.show, and we are also going to use this new one, plt.style.use, and then in speech or apostrophes, ggplot. So what this one does is it just means that the plots are going to be a lot nicer to look at. It kind of applies a default template kind of setting to it in terms of kind of formatting, which means that it just looks a lot nicer. It looks like a little bit like Seaborn's plot in a way, but it just means that the kind of plots look a bit more professional and nicer to look at, so we don't have to look at the default matplotlib things, because we're trying to smash things out as fast as possible, so we don't want to deal with all the color options. So we'll shift enter here so that executes, and then inside this folder that I'm working in right now, I have an Excel document called pandasviz.xlsx. So we're going to import in this as countries. So countries, let me get my spelling right. God, that's really bad. pd.readXL, open brackets, and then this is pandasviz.xlsx, and then we're going to specify the index column here, col equals country, and then if we type in print countries.head, if this doesn't work, I'm going to be sad. It does work, so I'm not sad. And then we have here, so what the countries Excel is it's just a list of a load of countries, their populations, their GDP, and the area, and this data is filled out if it's not if it's available, kind of thing. So it's filled out even if it's not available. And when it's not available, we'll see here a not a number, which is nan. And we need to, this is a massive problem because we need to clean our data so that we can actually use it. So the kind of most clunky way of doing this is just to remove all the nans. You can also do things by replacing all the nans, but we'll look at removing all the nans, or NAs, as some people say. So we're just going to reuse the countries variable, and we're just going to, in fact, I can do, God, that was a bit sloppy. Drop NA is the method we're going to be using. So it's drop NA, no dot there. And then just run the function, and then if we just do the print the same, we'll use the same command, we can see Albania has gone because it had an NA here. There's a load of other countries which will also be missing because they had NAs. And now our data is actually useful, so we can actually plot some things with it. So we are going to be looking at the graph of the area of a country by its population, and we're going to be looking at how to kind of get some more data within this file. So we are going to be using the plot.scatter function in pandas. So we're going to use, it's a method actually, so we're going to use the off the data frame, we're going to run scatter, and then we have to specify what the x and y are. So population is our x, our y is area, and then for now let's just press enter and see what happens. We will see here we get something that's probably not actually that helpful. And we see kind of like just a graph like this. What's nice to do is it's nice to see, well, it's not nice to see that all our data is clumped up here and very spread out here, which means that we're not actually getting that much information. So what we can do to solve this is we can run the log kind of argument, and there's an x log and a y log, but we want both of these to be logged. So log means that both of our axes are now in the log terms. So we press Shift Enter here, we will see we get a nice kind of evenly distributed kind of data structure, but it does mean that our x and y axes are now in powers of 10. That's fine, because the main thing we're concerned about here is visualizing the data. So you can see here there is a kind of like a very strong correlation between the population and the area of the country, which is to be expected, really, isn't it? Like, the bigger country you have, the more people you can fit in. And then if we want to add a little bit more information here, what we can do is we can change the color based on another column of the table. So we're going to change it by the GDP of the country, and we're also going to set the color map to copper, which is going to mean that it's a nice kind of color. And we will see here that it's a bit hard to tell what's going on because there's a lot of dots here, so we're going to make it a little bigger with fig size, which takes a tuple as an argument of the x and y sizes. So we're going to do this, and now we can see we have a nice big graph of what is going on. We can see here that there's a nice linear correlation. Well, it's not linear because we have a log axes, but there's a nice kind of strong correlation between the area and the population of a country, but then the GDP seems to be quite kind of spread out between everything. So we have countries in the middle which have very high GDP. We have countries at each end which have very low GDPs. So kind of like there's no real correlation there. And if we wanted to kind of continue to explore that analysis, we could then create different graphs based on the GDP and population and whatnot. So I'm going to leave it there. The mini project for this time is we have a CSV with the salaries, ages, and genders of I think it was 400 people or so, and we're just going to do some scatter plots of the two similar to this exercise, just to make sure that we're comfortable with the Pandas plotting options. So that was how we do very quick plots in Pandas. Hopefully you've learned something today. Next time we'll be looking at using interactive plots in Python. So I'll see you then.